Hey everybody, we're back with another game saved from Extinction. This one is kind of cool, kind of different. This is Sonic Runners Adventure. Now, for those of you out there, of course, Sonic Runners is still around today. It's still being played. I think it's changed a couple of forms since then. But this one is special. When it came out initially, it came out also as a Java variant. So this is essentially mechanically the same game, but much different in terms of gameplay and style. It's very Sonic Runners is a good game. It's very smooth. It's very nice. This one is a little jittery and strange. Let's take a look at it together though. So we'll start this up. We've played a little bit of this already, kind of getting the feel for it, and it's much harder than the original. So we'll jump into the first stage here. Now you have options to unlock other characters. There's music in this one, so this one's a little more advanced than most games of this type. And let me turn down that music just a little bit. Okay, so let's jump into it. So we will pick Sonic, because he's the thing. You have time freeze, the abilities. If you've played Sonic Runners before, the mechanics here are the same. You work rate. Okay, so it's an endless runner, and you just start going. It's that single button. You can jump twice, and you're just collecting rings and trying to get to the end of the stage without dying. 1, 2, 3. So you can triple jump. 1, 2, 3. Attack out enemies. But if you can see, it's a game that is harder to follow along with because of the sprite-based nature of it. And mostly, probably, actually, here we go, Donkey Kong stuff, due to the low frame rate afforded by the platform. Oops. What's my button? 0 initiates thing? I don't know what I have 0 mapped to. We'll see. Okay. It becomes more difficult the faster you go in anticipating enemies, and I really do think the graphics are actually fine. I'm trying to play and talk at the same time. I think the graphics are fine in terms of sprite-based for the era, but the frame rate I really do think is the biggest detriment to this version of the game. Now again, you'd be playing it on a smaller screen. It'd probably be a little bit easier to handle, but nonetheless, it does become a problem. So let's jump to level 3, just so we get a little different view from here from Green Hill Zone. I don't know how far we're going to go with this one. You kind of get the idea of it. The music, I think, is actually pretty good for this entry. Oh, that should have been a good jump, but it wasn't. So you'll notice that now that more things are on the screen, I fell for that last time too, it is becoming exponentially more difficult to time jumps and such, because it's harder to see what's coming at you. And in a game where you really gotta go fast, it's imperative that the frame rate is incredibly smooth, so you have the proper reaction time. We're not going to fall for that again. So the only thing we do is not want to fall into the pit coming up. 2, 1, 2. There we go. So the idea of this, of course, is to learn the levels and learn the stages so that you can better deal with it. But if you can notice that when you get hit and when you start seeing some attacks, it does slow down a fair bit. And it's giving me these stars to help me understand how to play it. But what I found, at least in this version, is I kind of just stare at the center of the screen and kind of react that way. Kind of focus on the dead center as opposed to Oh, and we blew it. As opposed to focusing on Sonic or looking too far ahead. So let's jump forward to 6. This is where we left off. Now, it's been a little while since I've played this. I don't know if we're going to try to make it to the boss. I think we should try to, but I don't know how how good that's going to work out for us. But that music is good. Okay, so we're all right. We should be seeing a couple of more enemies in this one and some different types of platforming mechanics. There's a tender. We want that. 1, 2, 3. Timing-wise on the execution of these jumps is actually pretty good. A little Sonic Advance going on. And again, I like the concept. I like the look. I just think it's let down by the frame rate. Yeah, I knew that's what's going to happen. If I remember from the first time I played this. But again, if you do spend the time to learn these levels, you could probably have a good time. This sort of gives me a little bit of a headache, almost certainly because of that frame rate. Come on, Sonic. 1, 2, 3, we got it. 1, that's a 1. That's a 1. On the ground, okay. There's going to be a big gap here. Don't blow it, Sonic. Some sort of checkpoint. Over 1. Yeah, that's the one I missed last time. Okay, so we're okay. So you do start speeding up, and that's going to come at you. And then there's flying Eggman attacks, those things that are kind of flying at you on the screen, and those are really, really hard to gauge. Because they're in motion. 1, 2, come on. Focus. Oh, don't fall. Okay, we're okay. We want to get up. Did we make it? Okay, no. Next part. Ooh, little 3D action. There we go. That's cool. Restart level. Dang it. I thought we had some rings on that one. Alright, we'll try it again. We're going to play with this together. So, because this was a Java release talking about the game, considering it's still going on, there's events. At least I think it's still going on. It still exists in some form. There's unlockable and events and all those things, and you could use microtransactions and gems and all that stuff. Because this is a Java game, it does excel in the fact that everything in the game, at least in this version, when they're all released, is in the game. Right? You don't have to bother with gems or any sort of purchases. You can unlock all the characters and everything. I jumped. Nothing happened. And I had coins. I had 2. What is happening? Can I only take a number of hits? Do I not know how this works? I thought if I had rings, I could take a bump. Anyways, what the heck was I saying now? Oh, because this game is Java, and at the time they didn't really have the mechanics to implement microtransactions. Everything is built in there, so you can unlock everything. So if you have this version of the game, you can actually have a pretty robust experience in terms of what the game has to offer for you for unlocks characters and all that stuff. And again, I know Runners is a popular game. I know a lot of people played it, the iOS version and the Android version. But from doing a little bit of research on this one, it's going to be a bridge here. 2. I found that there were actually quite a number of people who played this version of the game, which does make sense. Sonic is such a huge property, and it did make sense to release it on the dumb phones of the era. I didn't have any coins. I did that. That was the exact same spot, wasn't it? Dang it. I'll try it again. So a lot of people do have memories of this game when they had their old flip phones and their whatever sidekicks, whatever the heck they were at the time. And again, we've talked about this several times, why they would release a game like this onto Java when iOS and Android were now around and at least fairly refined in terms of their gameplay possibilities. Well, it's a big world, and the emerging markets still very much use Java, and in fact some I believe some still do. Okay, I jumped and I died, so clearly it has nothing to do with rings. Maybe it's the amount of times I can get hit, and maybe the rings really are only for unlockables. But let's focus. Okay, we won't talk as much this time, and we'll try to focus on this one. Jump, jump, twice, jump, jump. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can hear me tapping, so you can see if it actually screws up or not. Okay, it's part 1. I believe there may be 3 parts. Okay, 1. I jumped. Oh my god, you heard me jump that. So maybe I have to take back about how refined the controls are. Now again, that may be an issue with the emulation itself, with the emulator itself, and the fact that I am using a wireless controller to capture this because it's easier in terms of recording this with streaming and stuff. But that's why this channel exists. And with your support, by liking, subscribing, commenting, you can help us grow as we are looking to build a... Nope, I hit it again and I died exactly at the same spot. Wow, why isn't that not jumping? We are trying to build an archive of these Java games as well as VR games, which we are losing. We have a number of those in the pipeline right now. We've been a little behind on those. But we are looking to build an archive where you can play these games, preferably in a browser in a museum setting. But we also want to develop a new Java-based emulator because the options that we have aren't great. They don't work with all the titles. It's a pain in the butt to get working, and you're really playing a Java game underneath. I hit that again. That's the 3rd time. This is the last time we're going to do it. Essentially, right now, you're playing these Java games under another emulator, under an Android layer. So, I mean, we're like Inception levels deep. And the deeper you go, the more problems are going to arise. So, if you want to eventually have the best sort of experience in saving these old titles, help us out. Drop a subscription, share it with your friends, like, comment, all that stuff. And if you really want to help out, if you really want to be an archivist, there is a link in the description where you can do that, but we never ask or require that. So here we go. I'm just going to jump early there because I knew that was going to happen. Okay, jump. So now we focus. 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. There's going to be a 2, 3. Coming up, there's going to be a spike thing if I'm not paying attention. Okay. Little 3D coming. No, got one more. Okay, we're okay. That's okay. Oh man, I don't know why. I'm gonna press my luck. I don't know why that time it worked. See, ooh, we're lagging. Oh, buddy, you're going too fast, Sonic. You gotta go fast, but you're going way too fast. Focus, focus, focus. It's really
freaking hard to see what's going on. Now you can kind of see the struggles. I don't know which way to Oh, I think we broke for a second there. 2. Stay focused. 1. Okay, is this it? There should be, I think each level has 3 parts, so this would be the 3rd. Alright, focus down, 1. Up. Up, up. Up. We're still through. We went up. Let's go down this time. Okay, or just screw up. I'm not entirely sure what we're supposed to be doing. We're missing something. I'm missing a direction, or I'm missing something I'm supposed to be picking up. So we're redoing this again. Nope, we got it. Was that it? Oh no, the screen went black. Oh no, was that it? I think that's it. So this is a good example of what we're talking about. This is a good example of emulation errors in these old games working against us. So if you want to see more Sonic Rush or whatever this is, Adventures, I'm losing my mind here as we talk about this. This is the reason we're archiving these stuff. And this is the reason why we want to build a new emulator to be able to handle this stuff. Because, yeah, these games aren't going to be winning any awards. Yeah, these games don't have a lasting impact on legacy and stuff. But they exist. Teams worked on these. People worked on these. And they're gone. Right. Imagine if you worked on this game or any other game we've had on this series, whether it's Resident Evil, a Silent Hill, even if it's a Rayman or something third party that a lot of people don't remember. Imagine telling your kids down the line, hey, this was the first game I worked on. And so, oh, can we play it? Can we see it? And you have them to say, well, no, you can't. It literally doesn't exist anymore. That to me would be such a devastating thing if I had kids and had to tell them that. Right? I worked on this game before I did all these other cool things and went on, and this was my first one. And to not be able to share that, that's real painful. So that's what we're doing this for, and that's why we're here. So if you want to help us out, best thing you can do is like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to continue to work on this game to see if we can get farther into this, to see if we can figure out what's causing this issue. There's a whole bunch of tweaks we can do, and hopefully we can be able to release this one in working state a little bit later down the line. But until next time, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. You guys have really helped us out. We're getting close to 1,000 subs, where we'll apparently be able to monetize this channel a little bit and have a little bit of those funds to help build what we want to build in the museum and the emulator. And everything we make, everything we get from this YouTube thing is all going right back into this, so we can create these and save games before we lose the history that we've so callously forgotten about almost at this point in time with these Java games. So until next time, have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll see you again in the next video.